Hi guys, welcome back to the Beige Flag. With us, we have our great host, Haley Hartwig. Haley.
Hello, welcome back.
The Beige Flag. Beige Flag.
How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I found this new dating app. This is like a little
A new one.
A new
You've
one.
exhausted all the others.
Oh, I have swiped across Hinge, I think 5 times now. Even my app is like, there's no one within 100 miles of you, and there's no one between the ages of 22 and 40.
Okay, so you found a new one.
I found a new one.
Tell me about it.
Okay, this is a really interesting one where you can match with inmates who are looking to find love. So they upload their biodata and everything, and then you can filter through them and get their bio and seeing what they're looking for and what they really want. I think this is gonna work out perfect. And here's why. One, you know where they are at all times. so they
Hopefully.
can't ghost you.
Okay, okay. What are the other pros?
They already have a background check done.
It's very, very negative.
Right? They already have a background check. You know when they're going to release. So if you hold on too long enough, and then third or fourth, you can get conjugal visits. So you can meet them on your own schedule, not on their schedule.
Can you get conjugal visits though?
I don't know. We could fact check that. But I think whoever designed this app has a really good idea. And I've seen people on TikTok actually get married off through this, where this girl was talking about she met the guy and now she was waiting for him to get released so they could get married and whatnot.
Poor girl. Poor girl. I promise you can find someone who is in the free world.
But maybe what if he was wrongly accused?
Yeah, okay. I feel like that's a very small percentage, and I feel like if you were wrongly accused, you're focused on getting your appeals done rather than
Then trying to find-
finding love.
Like, what would you do if you had to, like, if you were wrongly accused and you had to spend, like, let's say 10, 20 years in prison?
That is, like, honestly one of my biggest fears.
Right.
I don't know what I would do. Honestly, I have no idea.
Have you seen that movie?
I would not survive in prison, I don't know.
Have you seen the movie The Shot Caller?
No.
That movie scared the daylights out of me. So this guy, he's like a pretty successful accountant and whatnot. So he's out with his friends. He gets into a drunk driving crash, accidentally kills his best friend sitting in the back seat, gets convicted for manslaughter, has to go to prison, has to join the gang to survive. Now the gang is like, if you stop working for us, we're gonna hurt your family. So he has to like set up this whole scheme of like his life is just done.
Wow. That is terrifying.
Yeah. And it has like the guy from Game of Thrones. That's the guy. Cersei's brother plays him.
Wow. Wow. On that uplifting note, dang. So is this something you're trying?
I think I'm like figuring it out. I'm like seeing reviews and whatnot. But I think it could be a cool new venture of meeting new people.
How do they match with you?
I think maybe it's just like one of those Match.com where you send them a note and they log in through their computer and they see who has matched with them.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Well, let us know how that goes, or don't. I'm not gonna force you to do that one, honestly. But that is interesting.
Yeah, like if I tell you like, hey, I'm seeing someone and then I have to start traveling 2 hours away every weekend, then you'll just know I found the one.
Okay. Okay, Adam. All right. Well, let's move on to something very interesting that I recently just discovered.
Okay.
So when you do match with someone on a real dating app where the people are free, how do you get dates with them?
Oh, how do I get dates? Me
Yeah, how do you
specific.
kick it off? What's your opener?
So I got too tired of like doing openers, so I designed an algorithm. So it's automated and it's
So this is like a shortcuts in your app?
shortcuts within the app or within like I just designed. It's like, hey, when this person matches, just say this, or like when a person matches, just say this, and then it gives them options to pick one from, and then whatever option they pick, the algorithm knows what to send it to them. Because at one point I had over 1,300 Hinge matches and I couldn't be talking to all of them, so the algorithm was talking to me for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that the algorithm like sends the first few messages for you.
Oh, 100%. So this is how it kicks.
What?
This is how it kicks off.
Life hack?
It is a life hack. If you had done it back in when you were out dating, can you imagine how great it would have been to weed out people?
I guess. Okay, but I need to like understand a little bit more. What are your opening messages that the algorithm sends?
So there's only one. It gives them. It starts off by saying hello, their name, and then it says pick from option 1 for this, pick option 2 for this, or pick option.
What are the options?
I'm assuming because you read through my messages recently. Okay, so here's what we're gonna talk about. So it says, hello, please press 1 for a dirty pickup line, please press 2 for a funny pickup line, and please press 0 to speak to the representative.
Okay, so the options are dirty pickup line, funny pickup line, or speak to the representative.
Speak to a representative.
Okay.
Well, usually most people will be like, angrily press 0 on multiple times and be like, I want to talk to the representative right away. And then at that point, I'll give them my phone number, and then sometimes they'll just text me right away.
Whoa,
so that's like
good.
Yes.
That's quick.
Because I can get them off the app,
Yeah.
and then I can start texting with them.
Whoa. Okay, I didn't see those ones. I approve of that one.
Yeah.
But now let's hear the things that I don't approve of. Let's hear the dirty pickup line and the cheesy pickup line.
I am never going to say that. My parents watch this podcast. We are not going to talk about those.
Okay. Well, let's just let the listeners use their imagination there.
We can use a cheesy one.
But what? Okay, so what percentage of people respond when you send either the funny or the dirty pickup line?
Oh, when the bot sends the initial one, it has a conversion rate of like 70 to 80%.
Wow, everyone's responding.
Because it's like something unique, and then they feel like they're in control of driving the conversation. It's like, remember watching that Netflix movie where you get to choose your adventure?
Yeah.
It's like that, but in a dating app.
I like it. It's creative.
Yeah, and then so I get from there, and then the bot sends like from the 1 to 0 option, it gives them that, and then I get a notification like, hey, they responded, so then I can jump in and then start conversing. So if you're out there matching with me, if you get that message, just know you're talking to AI and not me.
Wow. That's honestly pretty smart. I gotta give it to you.
Yeah.
No wonder you went on 100 dates in a year.
Besides the algorithm, I like talking to people. If I find them interesting enough from their bio, I'll actually skim through their profile and find something that we have in common, and then I'll text them about that part.
Okay, so the algorithm, you don't use the algorithm for every single match.
No, I'll like look at the profile, see if it's a pretty generic profile, nothing on there, the algorithm will take over. Mm-hmm. If I find them I'm like, oh, this match has really good potential, we could like see each other along the way, and that's when I'll text them.
Okay, so you're saying like if you don't find them that interesting from their profile, you still go through the effort of doing the algorithm?
Oh, 100%. Because like every match I meet is a potential to meet someone new, and then we can always get ice cream. Ice cream's like the lowest common denominator we all have.
So, okay, even if you're not that interested in them, you still go get ice cream?
Yeah, because I like ice cream. Worst comes to worst.
Okay.
Okay.
So really, all of these dates are just an excuse for you to eat ice cream every day?
Yeah, I feel
like my grandpa. Okay.
Does your grandpa, is that how your grandparents met too, getting ice cream?
Actually, maybe. I don't know what their first date was, but it very well could have been ice cream.
Well, I know how my grandparents met. He just showed up one day to the wedding, and then that's how they met.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. Would you ever do something like that?
Show up one day to a random person's home? I think that's called stalking now.
Okay. All right. So we are recording this podcast a little bit earlier than normal, but for a very interesting reason, right? I think we mentioned that Adam's going to California for some more dates soon. You mentioned a couple weeks ago that you already had a date lined up. Is that date still on, and what can we expect from it?
Okay, I was super excited about this date. I had been looking forward 2 weeks. We should give some context. That date's not happening anymore.
What?
Yeah, she said that she doesn't see this going anywhere. it's fruitless to like go pursue this any further. But let's
Why? Because you're in Seattle and she's in California.
no, it's even weirder than that.
All right,
All right.
let's hear it.
So we matched on the Muslim dating app. Or you can send each other a message like on Hinge, but it's like for these ones, it's like you have to buy these messages. It's like $1 or $2 to send it to them directly, so they know you liked them,
Okay.
right? So I sent it to her, and she just responded back. She goes like, "Hey, I think you like really like good look." you do this every single time.
I feel like you are uncomfortable with the girl complimenting you.
I am super uncomfortable with someone complimenting
Why
me.
can't you just accept it?
Because why would they like think that something's wrong with them, and if they would say that out loud?
And that's a self-esteem issue that you need to work on. But-
Okay. Anyway, she goes like, "You're really cute and whatnot." No, she says you're very handsome. Anyways, she goes like that, but I don't want to like lead you on. I know you are not planning. You live in Seattle. You don't want to like on your profile. You can say if you're willing to move out of the country or move to another location or whatnot. I have it marked as no. She's like, I'm trying to leave the U.S., not just leave California or me moving to California. She's like, I'm trying to leave the U.S. to go to the Middle East.
Okay, wait, so that's like your first couple messages?
That's the first message she sent me. I asked something very generic.
And you end up setting up a date.
Okay. After that, I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then she kept messaging me.
You said, yeah, that's fine, as in, yeah, you would move to the Middle East?
No, I said, yeah, that's fine. I'm not trying to move. I love it over here. I'm very...
But you'd still like to go on a date?
I never said that.
Oh.
So we were just...
But then how did the date get set up?
If you let me finish the story, we'll eventually get there.
Continue.
I know you're in a bad mood today, but like, just don't get mad at me.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so what happened is we were messaging back and forth. It's like we were just giving each other shit, which is a really good sign of like an interesting conversation or a meetup that's gonna happen. So we were talking about it, and then I was like, I like just brought it up that I'm gonna be in California, and I suggested we grab coffee, and she's like, sure, that's fine, perfect. And then to the day after, we're still texting, and then she goes AWOL the entire night. And I wake up, and there's a long message of she goes like, yeah, I was like, you're a really nice guy and whatnot. I don't see this going anywhere, so I suggest like good luck to you and everything.
Huh. Okay, so it was just coffee with absolutely no strings attached, and she sent a really long message saying, I'm not interested.
Yeah. Which makes me like wonder, why would she even like, one, she was planning on leaving the country anyways, right?
Right.
Why would she match?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have never have known if she had like never liked me or unliked me. And then secondly, why is she already on the app? If she's trying to leave the country.
I mean, maybe she's trying to find someone to live with her?
But wouldn't it make sense that she would want to move to the other country? Like she said she wanted to move to Dubai. Wouldn't it make sense for her to like live in Dubai and find someone over there rather than take someone from here to over there?
Yeah, that would make sense to me. Okay, so what do you think is really going on? Conspiracy time.
Oh, what I think is really going on is she's already married back in the Middle East. And she spends the summers here, and then she travels back over there. That's my theory on that. Remember when I was dating someone and I was like, she was going through a divorce, and you guys are like, no, she's actually married, she's just using you as a side piece?
Yeah. Okay, so similar situation.
Similar situations. I think I fall more into that where I match with people who are like a couple years older than I am.
Right.
And that's been like my MO for a really long period of time. I don't know what it is, but I just like matching with people who are like a few years older than I am or like the same age as I am, and it makes sense to like hang out with them because they have the same life experiences I've done, and it becomes easier to just like have a conversation or get along with them really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in an ideal world, my spouse would have a PhD and I would be a stay-at-home.
So you said you've been like matching with people that are a little bit older than you, but in most of your like longer term relationships, have they been older than you?
Well, they've been a year or two younger than me, not anything lower than that.
Okay.
I have a cutoff where I can't date anyone that's like more than 2 years younger than I am.
More than 2 years.
Yeah.
Dang.
I have a -2 +3.
It's 2 plus 3. I feel like some of your recent situationships have gone a little ways out of that.
Like let's say 200 years ago, back when your family was in Europe, right? They wouldn't have like been able to like, hey, let's go hang out and date for 2 years before getting married.
Right.
They would have been like, okay, you work on this farm, we work on this farm. It makes it easier. Let's just get married.
Yeah, which is why I think like marriage is not the greatest thing.
Why not? The tax benefits alone are amazing.
No, they're not really that amazing if you're both similar income earners.
Okay, so then why do you think like certain groups of people have fought so hard to being able to get married?
Because I think that, one, we as a society do make it like a legal privilege, like insurance and stuff like that. That is like a benefit of being married. But I think that we also fight for everyone to be treated equally, right?
Exactly.
So I think that's good. But I'm saying, like, I don't know that everyone needs to get married.
Okay, what? Like, but doesn't it...
Like, I'm saying that the history of marriage...
Yes.
...was just a legal thing, right? It was a legal benefit between two families. Exactly. It wasn't ever for love. So I think that saying now, like, marriage is something you should do for love is just, it doesn't track.
Okay, I get your point. I don't agree with it, but I do understand your point.
Why don't you agree with it?
I think for me, it's just like making marriage feels like you're in it together. Because getting out of a marriage is way harder. So once you're within the marriage construct, within that legal agreement, it means like you have decided that this person is worth all this effort to get married. So I'm just saying like, if you get married, it means like you've taken the pledge or like you've taken the leap of being with that person for the rest of your life because it's so hard to get out of it.
Okay, but I don't think that that's what you should want out of a relationship.
What?
Is that this person is stuck with me because it's so hard to get out of.
No, I'm saying that you guys have like weighed the pros and cons and be like, okay, now I do want to get married to you. I do want to go through all this, like, you are worth the effort.
What effort, though?
The effort of...
Getting divorced?
Yes, the effort...
What?
You know how hard it is to get a divorce? It's so hard. Especially
so
like...
you're saying this person is worth getting a divorce?
No, this person is worth getting married to so that I don't want to get divorced. Because divorce is like... Unless you Kim Kardashian gets divorced within a month, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's challenging, but I feel like being with someone long term is kind of the same thing,
but like
right?
a relationship can end tomorrow.
Yeah, but if you're in that relationship, like 5 years in and you're not married, then you know that person is like choosing you every day, not just choosing not to get divorced because it's too hard.
Our good friend ended a very long-term 5-year relationship soon. How did it end? It took a day to end, and it was over.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. Marriage means that this is the right person for me. I agree that sometimes there are aspects when people shouldn't get married because they're not meant to be married to each other, and that makes it so hard to get out of it.
But don't you think so many people aren't meant to be married together?
Oh, 100%.
And you get married and then you realize that like a year in and it's so hard to get divorced. But like if you just
if you're rich enough, yeah, divorce is messy. But for most people out there,
you're the one saying, do you know how hard it is to get divorced?
No. Okay. Let's break it down, the argument.
All right.
Let's go from the beginning. I know I'm flip-flopping on this.
Yeah. I think I'm winning.
I know, but that's why I just don't understand you get my point. It's like the same argument I'm like,
I do get your point. You're saying it's so hard to get divorced that when you're like in love with the person, you're saying, I agree to get married to you, knowing all of the like issues that would come if we break up.
It's the ultimate form of commitment in my eyes.
Right, it is, but it's also like saying, I don't know, I think a lot of people stay in marriages because it is so hard to get divorced when maybe they shouldn't, and it would be better for both people if they just got divorced. And if you're not married, you're saying to the other person every single day, like, I choose to be with you.
I think, I get it, But in my mind, marriage, the idea of marriage, the nobility of it all matters to me more than the actual execution of like what it is. You know what I mean, or what I'm trying to say? It's like the way that we have other ideas or like societal values we have. The idea or like the behind them was so grand and noble and is such a good concept, even though the execution's really bad.
Yeah.
So that's why I understand that there's many flaws of being married. Like people are in marriages for longs of time. I've known hundreds and hundreds of couples. My uncle and I have this joke.
I'm just shocked that you know hundreds of couples. Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Pakistan. Everybody's married. There's no single person out there.
Fair enough.
That's why I'm still single. They all got married long before. I called my grandma the other day. I call her Nani. Nani means just grandma in Urdu. I'm like, Nani, did you find a girl for me or something? She goes like, I don't know, I've been like looking. And it's been like, I don't know where all these girls went. I just don't know what's going to happen. It breaks my heart that you're still single.
Oh, you're breaking your grandma's heart.
No, she's heartbroken that she can't find someone that's good enough.
That's so sad.
I know.
And sweet.
Yeah. Well, back to my uncle Joe. We have this joke. My uncle's like, okay, go look at that mall. Look at any couple in a mall. And if the wife's walking in front and the guy is just like in behind with his head shaken down and they look like they both hate each other, you just notice that they're from like our part of the world. So marriage has so for us, growing up, seeing people in love in a marriage was not like a common thing. It's just people were just together.
Yeah, so where did you get this idea of like it's the ultimate commitment?
The more I read about it, or like the more views have changed, because I've seen some very healthy relationships overall as my like life has grown up, like both back home and over here. It's I've seen people who have like gone further way and beyond than themselves. I'm not saying like and that's what causes me to be who I am in relationships.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's like very it's not an easy argument to have on like why marriage matters in this day and age.
Yeah. But so that's ultimately what you're striving for?
Of course, I want to get married.
Okay. So all these dates are hopefully leading up to the marriage.
Yeah, one marriage out of all of it.
Well, maybe you'll have found that person by the next time we chat.
No, because I have a big conundrum happening.
What's the conundrum?
I've known this person for 2 weeks.
This person, alright.
And we've hung out like a few times. Her birthday's coming up in 2 weeks.
Oh, yes. Sorry, we got a little derailed by the marriage conversation, but we did want to discuss this.
What do I do? Do I even like offer to like be at her birthday? Because I really don't. I would feel birthday is such a big commitment to someone's birthday. You show up.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, do you get them a present?
Like, what kind of present do I have to go really big? If I don't go really big, they'll be like, hey, maybe this person's not interested in me.
But are you interested in them?
I am, but like I don't know yet if like how interested I am.
I thought you knew after the third date.
What do you mean?
You said after a third date, you're usually like in relationship territory.
Yeah, but like those are like actual thought out third dates. This is just like hanging out. Like, hey, are you free tonight? Let's go get ice cream.
Okay. Okay, then maybe have like.
Should I buy her ice cream? Or is that a bad present?
Don't you buy her ice cream every time you hang out?
Yeah, my fridge is filled with 6 tubs of ice cream. Do you want one to take home today?
I actually will take some ice cream with me. Thank you. But what do you usually do if you're in this situation where you've seen a girl a couple times, her birthday's coming up?
Oh, so last time I was dating someone and their birthday came up. This was 6 months into the relationship, so a healthy amount of time.
Okay. Wow.
I had just gotten my first job, so I couldn't figure out what she wanted. And we went to the mall, and she's like, oh, I like both these purses. So we ended up buying both for her.
Like what kind of purses?
Kate Spade, like, purses.
Okay, that's 6 months into a relationship. That's like a good amount of time, I can see a present being warranted there.
Yeah.
But what about just a couple dates? Like, just hypothetically, if you've been on a couple dates with someone,
Like, what's the ideal? Should we set a dollar amount? Is it supposed to be $100? You can't spend more than that?
I don't know, it's also like, is it something kind of sentimental? Like,
Yeah, how sentimental can you? How much can you know a person in 2 weeks?
exactly.
You can't be like Ted Mosby and steal the blue horn for the girl.
Well, it's also like, I think if I'm in that situation, I would do like offer to pay for dinner or something.
True.
Or like
What
take
if
them out to like a nicer dinner.
what if they're going out with like 5 of their friends and then you offer to pay dinner for everyone? That's like a $300 bill.
I know. I think I would do just like us, or if it's not on their birthday, be like, hey, can I take you out for like dinner and a drink?
Okay, so let's say I'll figure out what I like. I think we can talk about it next week because by the time the episode comes out, we'll still have 1 more week before her birthday. So I think we'll get out like how much, because I'll be back from California. Do you think? Also, I'm fearing by the time I come back from California, there might not be anything there because I'll be gone for too long.
Yeah, I agree. Although you did give her the keys to your apartment, so she'll probably still be here. Or maybe not. Maybe she'll be gone and so all.
All right, we'll see next week how this turns out.
Yeah, honestly, that is the biggest cliffhanger.
And then we'll send
of
you,
the week.
we'll send you guys pictures on how it's going. If my apartment's already trash, you could see it on this because the studio is my apartment.
Yeah, this will probably be gone. There'll probably be holes in the wall.
Danny will not be here.
Yeah, Danny. Just gonna for sure steal Danny.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we have our agendas to do for next week then.
Yep. We will see you all next week in a much different looking set.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.